PodAskew podcast is a founding member of the Odd Pods Media Network.
Hey man, it's me, Kevin Smith. Two things I know in this world: black and white convenience store movies and podcasting, man. So when I give you a podcast suggestion, people tend to listen. I'm about to drop some on you right now. Check out a great variety of podcasts on the Odd Pods Media Network, man. I'm talking shows Super Media Brothers, Married with Television, The 500 Section Lounge, From the Middle Podcast, PodAskew, BFYTW, and Infectious Groove, all proud members of the Odd Pods Media Network. They make me so happy, spittle flies out of my mouth when I talk about them, man. I love anybody that creates a podcast network, and the good folks at Odd Pods have done exactly that. Go listen to all the podcasts on Odd Pods Media Network right now and tell them Silent Bob sent you. And when they say, wait, I thought he doesn't talk. And you're like, yeah, well, he talks one line per movie. And then go like, what? And the one line in a movie told you to go listen to Odd Pods Media Network? And then be like, look, it was just a fucking sign-off catchphrase. Get off my dick. And then you'll have made a new friend.
It's Fandom Friday.
And we're getting Vokl with AMCJ, and with me, as always, is my hetero life date, Rico. What's up, man?
What's up, motherfuckers?
Wow, that was loud for like a hot second. Jesus Christ.
I didn't yell. I didn't yell it like normal. I was very, Rico inside voice, which is louder than your outside voice.
I think it just picked you up louder. Who knows? Matt, what's going on, dude? We got all kinds of new peeps up in the house tonight. I like it. Yeah, so I guess I should start right off by telling C-Man and Matt, since they're new to the show, how we handle things usually on Get Vokl. We spend the first 15-20 minutes just Rico and I talking, and then we're going to open up these windows, and feel free to jump in and talk with us. So you will have the opportunity to join the conversation, and you certainly can talk in the chat prior to that. But we like to take the first little bit of time just to catch up and set the stage for what's coming. So that's where we're at. But welcome everybody here, and we're glad to have you all here. So I just got a message from Logo Mike. He's out right now, but might jump in before the show's over. So hey, we might have some good people coming. I don't know where Mark is. I think he's passed out, but that's okay.
That's all right.
Yeah, it happens. No worries. But yeah, man, how's it going?
To go with the retroness that you graciously fucking gave us for our music, I had some retroness last night. I took Steph out on a lovely date night, and we went and saw The Dark Crystal at like an outside patio theater thing. Like it was a restaurant that had an outside patio, and they had a big fucking TV and shit. And
I've never actually seen that.
Okay. I'm of the opinion that if you didn't grow up watching The Dark Crystal, you may not like The Dark Crystal.
I mean, I saw Labyrinth for the first time the day David Bowie died, because I figured I should watch it as a tribute or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, meh.
The biggest Muppet in the Labyrinth is David Bowie's bulge throughout that whole film.
Right? That thing is goddamn.
Dance, magic dance. But yeah, so The Dark Crystal doesn't have any humans. It's straight up Muppets, but it's as dark as Labyrinth. It's really fucked up. But it's super funny because there's a lot of dark humor and there's just straight up good humor. But Steph was having, she was in heaven, and I had to keep fucking taking phone calls. My dad kept calling me and it's like, hey, what are you doing? I'm like, the same fucking thing I told you 10 minutes ago. I'm in fucking Walnut Creek watching a fucking movie outside, freezing, and eating fucking chicken, fucking popcorn chicken. So
Well, popcorn chicken's good though. I like
yeah,
popcorn.
but they look. I have no issues with the waiters and the staff there because clearly it was something that they were not used to, and they were
Sure.
trying some shit out.
Sure.
And it was outside, so like there's traffic driving by. There was some asshole who, like, I mean, I call him an asshole just because he's a dude, but his car kept fucking like it wouldn't start. So like he's revving the engine, it's just not fucking kickstarting, and like half the waiters ran out to push him to see if it'll fucking help and shit. But
Matt Dixon just said that the leather beret is 100% a look. First off, I got it correct. It's not a beret. It's technically a
flat cap.
A what?
It's a flat cap.
Yeah. But number two, I can't tell if that's sarcasm or serious. I can't tell. But I'm not gonna get shitty about it. I just can't tell. You were talking about the retroness though with the music, Rico. You know why? Normally we don't talk too much about the music. Okay, cool. Thanks, Matt. I appreciate that. Even if it was, I don't mind. I can handle it. But yeah.
Unless he's saying 100% is not sarcasm, what if he's saying that sarcastically?
That
like,
could be
100%,
yeah,
not sarcasm.
Anyway, a fat cigar and a classy overcoat. Well,
you want CJ to die? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Well, he doesn't know my allergy, so I'm not going to hold that on him. But he's gone now, so I guess we pissed him off. I'm teasing, but anyway, normally we don't talk about the music too much on the show, but the songs I picked were very specific for a very specific reason. Did you pick up on it, Rico, or no?
Sorry.
Okay, did somebody else pick up on it while Rico dies?
Yes, I picked up on it. What I interpreted was obviously Yakety Yak.
Yeah,
was featured in the first episode of WandaVision, but then I would imagine it was each song of a decade. So yeah, your 60s.
Those songs were all those songs except for the very last one, which was called Witch's Brew, and I only picked that for the obvious reason. We're all focused in the show. Yakety Yak was in episode 1. Help Me Rhonda was in the Magician episode where they did the magic act, and Voodoo Child was in the 70s episode where the kids were born.
That's right. That is right.
So I picked the songs that were specifically in the show. It was very much a calculated choice there, except for Witch's Brew, which obviously wasn't in the show, but it kind of makes sense.
That thing just died on me again. I didn't touch it since we did our last recording, but I'm like, maybe it'll last me through the good Vokl. No, it does this where it's like, nope, I'm dying.
You can't charge it or anything.
No, it's just a designated amount of puffs.
Well, maybe if you're digging the vape thing, maybe you get a more permanent one.
I mean, I was discussing that with Steph. I don't think it's going to be a thing.
No, but you could get a quasi more permanent one for days like today or whatever, or when we do.
I will show you what Steph did buy me randomly. She got me this.
Okay, which looks similar to the blue pack I used to have.
Not even what you think it is.
Okay,
it's literally I took my cigarette pack.
Oh, it's just a hard box.
Yeah, because she bent my cigarette pack one time, and she's like, oh, and I barely had mortified her for months, and she was like, I should do something so I don't do that. I'm like, I'm just waiting for her to break this.
But yeah, so we're gonna deep dive the WandaVision show finally. We wanted to wait. We wanted to wait till they aired all 9 episodes, and then we wanted to give everyone about a week to see it. We're not gonna get into that. Rico, I hate to do this to you, buddy, but I got to step away. So I'm going to unlock the windows if C-Man wants to jump in. If Matt comes back, if he wants to jump in, I'm actually going to shut my camera down, but I will be back. So,
all right,
and then we'll get.
You're going to get your overcoat, a cigar?
No, I wish. No, I'll be right back though. Okay, so, or as soon as I can.
All right.
So let's get that unlocked.
All right. So if anyone wants to jump on, by all means. And there's Mark. Hi, Mark. Just to give you my consensus of the show, when the first 2 episodes aired, I was into it. A lot of fucking people were talking about WandaVision, which you probably didn't watch, but you might be able to have an opinion of it because you're a big comic, fan. That being said, I fucking was sucked into it, and everybody was like complaining about it on Twitter, like, "Oh my god, so slow." Yeah, I'm like, wow, we were really spoiled by fucking Marvel for a long time, like getting 2 or 3 movies a year. Yeah. See, man, you having fucking trouble there, buddy? All right. While you fuck with that, let's try. Are you using the app or are you using the PC desktop version? Okay, refresh the page, come back in. Sometimes it does that. Hey, Mark.
Hello.
How's it going?
Working on scripts. How are you?
Okay. One day at a time. I told everybody earlier I took Steph out to a retro movie last night.
Oh.
So I took her to see The Dark Crystal, and it was like outside patio at a restaurant, big screen TV, speakers, all that shit.
Oh yeah, I was able to hear that through the Twitter feed. I clicked on the Twitter feed because I didn't know if you guys were doing the show today or not.
No, it was. I mean, I was never really a big Dark Crystal fan. I saw it very late. She introduced it to me, so I saw it like last year, 2 years ago. So as much as I love the Muppets and Jim Henson and all that shit, it just really wasn't my thing. But she grew up with it, so it's definitely. And I was like, I saw it like advertised on Facebook, like here's an event, blah blah blah. And I'm just like, oh, I'm gonna have to do this for her. She's been a real trooper during like the past couple months with me and my mom and all that shit. So I want to just get her a good date night and give her a good excuse of getting out. And we were social distancing. We had masks and all that shit. But see, man, I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't know what's fucking going on with trying to grab the spot. But what's going on with you, Mark? You said you're writing a screenplay. Is that the one that we all discussed?
I'm not writing a screenplay. I'm writing a script. I am working on that,
okay.
But I've been inspired to make videos again on my channel, which happens about once every year. So I wrote a 6-page script for a video that I'm having one of my my slightly more famous friends look over. I'll probably record that, and then I won't record another video for another year and a half.
Fucking hey, that sounds awesome. I've been going back into practicing the Jeremy Irons voice to just really try and do it. So what I do is, because I read Steph out loud the Harry Potter books, just because it's fun for me, and despite my feelings about the author herself, I still think the Harry Potter books are fucking fantastic.
Oh yeah.
So I try to bend voices and do impressions per character. Not some of them are just generic, but like some of them I try to take a celebrity or how I interpret it, who should have played the role in the films. For example, if I can't do a Michael Gambon and I can't do a Richard Harris. So I was thinking, well, who would have been a really obvious choice by Dumbledore? And it was fucking Alec Guinness. So my Dumbledore is my Alec Guinness Obi-Wan impression. And it works. It really fucking works. But Kateri, Steph is she's probably going to be on the phone with her mom, so she didn't want to jump in. Plus, she didn't watch WandaVision, so she watched like 2 episodes, but she was just kind of like, I'm so marveled out. Let's hear it. My Alec Guinness.
It's not good.
These are the droids you're looking for.
Yeah, you're not missing much.
I read the Wikipedia stuff for it, to be perfectly honest, because I don't particularly have an opinion about Marvel shit one way or the other at this point, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Mhm.
in all the time that we've talked, Mark, you've never been like fuck Marvel. You've never been there, but you've never been like as into it as like say Rico and I and other people that I know. So
No, and it's like, welcome C-Man.
Hey,
what's up, dude? Look,
So
he's
we've
even
got CJ and we've got C-Man.
well, Corey. So yeah. And he had the WandaVision in the background.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
say
yeah,
just so long
there
as he doesn't try to get all over my face, it's fine.
okay.
Yeah.
There we
Uh,
go.
you're sideways there. bro.
I see.
There you go.
There, yeah, I figured I'd put the WandaVision on in the background for you guys.
Yeah, why not? Why not? I like it.
Right?
I like it. Branding. See that? I got my branding over there. Hold on.
There you go.
Anyway, no, sorry about that, guys. Thanks for being appreciative of me stepping away for a minute, but everything's good. So let's get into the show. First thing I want to talk about is location. Like the New Jersey's getting some love in
Love
the
that.
Marvel universe,
Always.
Doesn't it just prove that, like, as much as you try to escape New Jersey, you just can't
Oh, it's a
escape New Jersey?
black fucking hole, dude. It sucks.
I gotta be honest. That could potentially be a smart way into another one of their shows.
Like what?
Miss Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Miss
Sure.
Marvel is based out of Jersey City.
That's true.
I don't know
That's true.
exactly how WandaVision would tie into Miss Marvel directly, but
Well, from what research I've done, they are making a Miss Marvel Disney show,
right. No, they are
And-
doing that.
and the finale gives a sort of precursor to what Captain Marvel 2 could be, and they've already discussed that Miss Marvel herself, after being in her own show, will appear in Captain Marvel 2. So there is going to be some bridge work, so to speak.
It also definitely lays out
Actually
the
kind of
groundwork
interesting conceptually to me because they kind of haven't been particularly interested in coordinating their shows with their films.
Well, that's because up till now Kevin Feige wasn't running both
Yeah,
divisions.
Jeff
Now
Loeb.
Jeff Loeb's out, and Kevin Feige's running the whole thing. So now I think you're going to get a lot more of that running together coordination. So I think you'll get more of that, Mark, which I think is the way to go. And I think that's one of the reasons why, and we're already getting off WandaVision, but this is what we do on Get Vocal. So, but one of the reasons why you're getting Charlie Cox as Matt Murdock playing Peter Parker's lawyer in the third Spider-Man, and then I don't think you're going to see him in the Daredevil suit in 3, but I think it'll then allow the Spawn to go into that no pun intended, sorry, but to go into that in a future show or a future film of some sort.
Right.
The thing. So for facts, before we get into this, I did some digging and some research. There actually is. Well, first off, do you prefer C-Man or do you want me to call you by your name? Because I know we know it.
No, you can call me C-Man. That's fine.
Okay.
Everybody does.
All right. So where? And I'm not asking for like an address, but where? I know you're not there now, but where are you from in Jersey?
Bergen County. So
Bergen
I'm
County.
like,
Okay.
like if you know where Paramus is,
Yeah.
I'm in Waldwick, so I'm like 10 minutes from Paramus.
Okay. Yeah, because
Although,
and Mark, I can say you're from Jersey, right? I'm not going to give more than that, but right? I mean,
I'm from Central Jersey. I've never been too shy about that aspect of it. Yeah.
Right, but I know you're private, and I'm trying to respect that, and then I'm Southern Jersey, so we have all 3 sections of the state covered
all.
which I think is pretty cool. But so I did some research, and I did find out Westview, New Jersey, actually exists. It's part of a. It's and for those of us from Jersey, that they're infamous in this state of having a city, and then within the city, there's like a sector that is called something, and that's the case with the Westview that I found. And there is a Westview and Eastview, so that is real, and it's up. I think it's in your county. Actually, I didn't see what county it was in, but it was definitely north, just northwest of New York City.
Huh.
So it's right in that.
Yeah, it's got to be right up there.
Yeah,
It's not Bergen. It's probably Morris.
yeah, you're probably right. Yeah. Now that I'm doing trying to do the visual map thing in my head here.
Not that I know anything about directions. I'm terrible. Without a GPS, I will get lost all the time.
I'm the same way, man.
Yeah, no worries. I used to be better with directions, and then I feel like GPS destroyed me. But that's a whole different conversation. But yeah, so Westview, New Jersey exists. Not necessarily in the way that it's portrayed in the show, but there is at least something. Well, no, because in the show it feels like it's more of a full-fledged town, and it's certainly not.
And it's all the way in South Jersey too.
Is it?
The fake Parkway sign that they had up was like down closer toward. AC.
Yeah, I saw Route 29 for Trenton and Lambertville, so that put it right near where when she's coming into Jersey in episode 7, 8, whatever it was, when she's driving from the sword facility.
Yeah.
There's a. Did
I misread it?
I don't know about. Well, there might have been. See, and that's the other thing. There might have been conflicting signs, but in the first one, or in that episode that I'm referring to, it says Route 29, Trenton, Lambertville, which I'm guessing is a way to go south from where she's at, coming out of New York, because it would make sense that the sword facility would be in New York State, maybe not New York City, but the state.
That's fair.
So I don't know exactly, but that was interesting to me that it was real. And then the other thing they did well with it is like they kept real license plates and all that kind of jazz too, which I like when they do that kind of thing, no matter what state it is, whether it's New Jersey, New York, Michigan, I don't give a fuck. But when they do that kind of stuff, it's good to me. I gotta say though, the show as a whole, by episode 3, I was almost ready to tap out. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I wasn't feeling it.
No, that's fair.
And it wasn't the 50s and 60s vibe. I didn't care about that. I used to watch fucking I Dream of Jeannie and Bewitched and all that shit when I was growing up as a kid. So like the error didn't mess with me. What bothered me was it wasn't until you realized. Actually, I can't even say all 3 episodes. I was kind of more on board after the end of episode 1 when you see it pull back and it's clear somebody's watching it from modern day in some kind of facility. Because if it was just going to be 8 episodes of a sitcom, I was like, yeah, I don't need a 8-episode sitcom of Vision and Wanda. Like using it as a vehicle to deliver something else is one thing, but to just have a WandaVision sitcom, I was going to probably check out.
Yeah, I think if they would have gone like full sitcom for the whole show, it would have had to have meant that the show was what was actually happening inside Wanda's mind. And they would have had to probably go like really dark and really twisted as it starts to kind of splinter toward the end.
Yeah.
But I think it was way better used this way. And with the tie-in to the family, it made it a lot more sense. But I think the biggest thing with the concept of that was keeping the fan base off track.
Well, and that's
like just following along with like my own theories and like other people's theories and people that were doing that type of stuff. Like Kevin Feige is the smartest motherfucker in the world, and they set up. He did exactly what he does in every movie, right? Like he set up all sorts of Easter eggs and nods to the comics and things that are comic accurate from their origins and stuff like that. He does that everywhere.
Yeah.
Except because this was a mystery, we all thought they were clues. And, I think some things are definitely still in play. I definitely think there's some sort of entity that's going to corrupt Wanda, whether it's Chthon or Mephisto.
I think she already is. Yeah.
Guys, I need to step away for 1 minute. Dino just threw up on the floor, so bear with me.
It's never fun.
We're having all kinds of interesting things going on PodAskew tonight. Yeah, I'm with you there, C-Man. I think that I would also argue that based on the post-credit scene from the final episode, she's already.
Oh yeah, well, and so let me ask you about that. Do you think that's astral projection? I've seen a bunch of people say that, and I disagree because typically your body is at rest and you're semi-transparent, and she is up and moving as Wanda, and she is completely fully textured as Scarlet Witch.
If it is any kind of astral projection, and I'm not saying that it is, but if it is, the projection is not the Scarlet Witch reading the book. It's the other way around.
Wanda.
It's
yeah.
Wanda. Yeah. I don't know. It's a good question. I've been kind of wondering in myself. I think it was very deliberately done to look like
100%.
that, and because from everything I read, and Mark, apparently you did a bunch of reading before it was over, or but you did a reading. So, but I think because they say this ties directly into the next Doctor Strange film as well, and so. My biggest question I have coming out of the series is Wanda going to be the villain for Doctor Strange?
So.
No.
No.
See, I think she's going to tie in. My personal take when I saw that end credit scene was that while the entire show is about Wanda going through and getting out of her grief from everything that's happened to her in the past, now she's got to deal with the fact that she's been torturing thousands of people, including children, for however long this was happening. And that gets in the way of what Scarlet Witch wants to do, which is find those kids. So I think she's found a spell that's like able to separate out potentially the good in her, because that's the spot that kind of has to like process stuff. And Scarlet Witch is just focusing on the witchcraft. And I think that's going to leave her vulnerable to be corrupted. And that could make her the big bad, even though it could be somebody else like a Mephisto or a Chthon or something along those lines.
Mark, you were going to say something.
I don't think they're going to go in that direction as Scarlet Witch being villainous in any capacity in this. I do think that this is definitely setting up the new Doctor Strange film, and I think that it's going to tie in more to the idea of sort of dealing with the loss that she's going through as that sort of thing goes. But like the whole point of the idea is that the Doctor Strange film is setting up something of a multiversal sequence of events.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
And I think that, you know, the very end sequence where, you know, she's like hearing her fucking kids crying out for help or whatever is her sort of like touching the multiverse to a certain extent.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking about the final fucking teasers that were at the end of the episode. Is that what we're doing?
Well, right now,
we're
not all of them. Specifically, the last one.
I was let down. I was convinced Doctor Strange was going to show up like on her fucking lawn or something. But from before I fucking left to deal with fucking cat vomit, which is incidentally my punk rock band that I'm coining. No. He Kevin Feige, as you made a point, C-Man, he is a genius, but he was also kind of like, we're gonna fuck with the fans.
Of course.
All of your theories is just gonna like. I kind of liken this show to sort of like the Iron Man 3 of Wanda / Vision shit. Like it's still good, and they give you a twist that you're kind of like, well, that's interesting, but god damn it, that's not. Really? The Mandarin's not the fucking Mandarin, but god damn it. Like, that's sort of how I'm looking at it. I am also looking at it because of my recent grief. This kind of was borderline therapeutic in the sense that this show is just all about grief and how to deal with it. And the repercussions of if in order for you to deal with your grief, fuck other people, like at the expense of other people's feelings, which is like, there's that line where fucking Monica says to Wanda, she's like, these people never know what you sacrificed. Like, they were like locked in their own brain, suffering for weeks, and you had to say goodbye to your imaginary family. Like, it's still heartbreaking, but like, these people may never recover for what Wanda did to them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there were just some fucking parts where I'm like the boner joke. Like, that's what I'm saying is Kevin Feige did a great job at fucking with us.
Yeah, but I thought he did it playfully, right? Like, if you were playing, because I enjoyed the shit out of like diving in and theorizing about stuff, because it got me going back into the comics, reading some deep cut stuff, and it was like, and at this point, after 11 years and 20 plus movies that are interconnected in one of the greatest cinematic things we've ever seen, I think he's earned a little leeway to fuck with the fans
and I've said that to Rico. Like, we were talking recently. I forget what exactly what we were talking on, but I said like in all this stuff that he's done, he's had 3 fuck ups, and none of them are like massive. Like they did the math wrong on Spider-Man. Okay, for the years, like they did the math wrong. All right, whatever. And then what were the other 2, Rico? Do you remember? Because they weren't even that huge, but like they were all
For the Dark World.
Yeah.
No, well,
Yeah,
as a movie.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
yeah. Ant-Man 2,
Ant-Man
maybe.
and the Wasp. Yeah.
No, it's weird because I enjoyed Ant-Man 2, but I was let down because they pretty much showed every piece of action in the trailers, which is not something that Marvel does.
It's true.
And I feel like if they would have saved some of that, people would have enjoyed it maybe a little bit
I know
more.
one of the
All right.
There just wasn't any surprise.
I know one of the things Rico and I have said. I don't know if this counts as one of the 3, but we have both said that we feel like they shoehorned Captain Marvel in the wrong time. If they had started that, like maybe 5 years earlier, or 2 years earlier, or something, and just kind of dropped it somewhere in the middle there. But instead, they kind of shoehorned it in so that it would fit for
the story of Endgame.
Yeah. By the
I don't
way,
think there was a problem with them shoehorning her in. It was the fact that they didn't have anything for her to do in fucking Endgame.
Except, and that's the beauty. Like,
outside destroy that shit.
I did like. Well, and I'm glad you brought that up, C-Man, because there's a great line that. So I rewatched the entire series today to get ready. Like I watched it as it came out each week, but then I sat down today and like binged 1 through 9, just to make sure I didn't miss it. And there was something I actually missed the first airing that I picked up this time, and it's nothing like vital to the story, but there's a conversation with the FBI agent,
Jimmy Woo and Monica and Darcy.
Right. They're sitting there and they're talking, and they're talking about. I think it was Monica that says, "Well, she did almost kill Thanos," and then someone else comments about, "Well, Captain Marvel did a pretty good job." There's that, because I know people that make the argument that if he hadn't rained fire, Scarlet Witch would have wiped him out right then and there. Tony doesn't need to snap, and everything is good, So, and then
Jimmy makes that joke, and she gets real shitty about it. Like something major happened between Monica and Captain Marvel, whether it was like Captain Marvel didn't come home and her mom was dying, or like something she did cause the cancer, but like she is not cool with Captain Marvel right now.
I couldn't tell. I mean, that's not. I don't know if that's the vibe I got from it, but I'm not saying you're wrong. You know what I mean? Like I thought she was just more upset that she wasn't there, but not that she was actually upset with her. Like there's this rooted anger. But I got the other thing.
I think she feels left out.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was going with it.
That's fair.
I got to be honest. I didn't even recognize her as, even when they were saying the name, because again, to Mark's point, to a degree, the movie was kind of throwaway, and it's a good movie. That's the problem. Captain Marvel as a whole is a good movie, but it's also a throwaway because of where they put it. That's the problem, right? So
yeah, it'll end up tying in or making more sense, I think, when you start getting into the scrolling.
Well, sure,
that
but,
I assume that they're going
to.
But
the point is that when they said who she was, I never connected it. No, it took like 2 episodes of her being on camera for me to really kind of figure out, oh, that's who that is. Rico.
See, I got lucky because I showed Captain Marvel the stuff for the first time, and it was like maybe 2 months before WandaVision premiered. So yeah, we didn't know who, when she's in her character, when she's got the fro and everything in the black and white 60s shit, obviously we didn't know who the fuck she was. But once they said Monica Rambeau, I'm just like, oh, okay. But I have to fucking point something out of the choices of sitcoms, and I really, CJ, I need your help on this, right?
Yeah, got you.
So the sitcoms that she was inspired of when she saw, when she was a little girl in Sokovia, there was the Dick Van Dyke Show, there was Bewitched, I Dream of Jeannie kind of stuff, there was, blah, 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 blah. And then we got to Malcolm in the Middle, right?
Yeah.
Can you tell me who one of the main stars in Malcolm in the Middle is?
Oh, it's the guy from Breaking Bad. What the fuck's his name?
Right.
Bryan
Cranston. Okay. Can you look up what Bryan Cranston was in 2014 for me, please?
Yeah. Hold on.
Here we
There's a
go.
whole point to this. There's a whole point to this.
I still want to see it too, Mark. So I mean, you can look, but I'm curious myself. So
No, I think I know where he's going with this. Actually,
well, that's because you're smarter than all of us.
about some things.
Yeah. Well, all right. Cranston, you said what year? Rico, I'm sorry.
2014.
2014. Let's see. 2014, we have Family Guy, The Quest for Stuff, Godzilla.
Nope. Yes.
There it
Click
is.
on-
I knew that's where you were
Click
going.
on Godzilla. Now tell me who the fuck is in it.
Okay. Hold on. It's still loading. Okay. Like the actors?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see. I got Aaron Taylor Johnson, CJ
Boom.
Adams, Ken Watanabe, Elizabeth Olsen,
And Aaron Taylor Johnson.
who I don't know who that is. Actually.
Click.
That's Quicksilver.
Okay.
Yep, the real Quicksilver.
So let's put it in context.
Which, by the way, they reference Kick-Ass too in the series during the Halloween
Which
episode.
has Aaron Taylor Johnson and Evan Peters
Right, both
in it.
But yeah, I knew that one. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, so let's recap. So at one point, Wanda is watching Malcolm in the Middle, and then the implication is that eventually Godzilla became a thing because Bryan Cranston's a real person in the Marvelverse. So she saw herself and her brother on screen playing a married couple.
She didn't actually watch Godzilla in the series, so
We don't know that.
Theoretically, she could have seen it though.
theoretically,
Just really, really good doppelgangers, Rico.
Of her brother and her, and they're a married couple.
Yeah, spot on. Yeah.
And which takes the fucking fact that like Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch were kind of incestuous, like in the comics.
Only in the Ultimate version. Okay, only in the Ultimate version. And again, I want to be clear about the Ultimate version. There's no fucking kind of about that. That is seriously like there's no subtext. Flowers in the Attic is just the fucking text here. Okay. They are literally fucking each other. It is gross.
Which is why in Age of Ultron, there's always like Quicksilver's always kind of like right behind her and kind of like got his arm draped over her and shit. Like they weren't explicitly saying they were fucking, but Kevin Feige was like, I'm gonna fuck with the fans again. Telling you, like Mark and I are like,
I mean, he doesn't do anything by accident.
No,
right? Like
I know.
Everything he does.
I really wish I could remember those two other things we said, Rico, because not because I want to dog on Kevin Feige, but just because I wanted to, especially since C-Man's first time hanging out with us, I'd love to get his feedback. But but let's get back to the show. I
do actually though
Please.
have one thing, as far as regards to like the fact that no major cameo happened, and it's one of these things like I wish Feige would have said this, back when they had, whatever the last big thing where he would have been speaking was, but I guess the TV roundup, which was like the week before the finale, he said, or someone asked him rather, can you watch the movies without watching the TV shows? Because it seems like this is tying into Doctor Strange really, really strongly. And he said, no, you do not have to watch the television shows to watch the movies. The movies will continue to make one story sense, and the TV shows are kind of like those things that happen off screen that you wonder what it might look like. So I would assume that when Scarlet Witch shows up in that movie, it's going to be semi-explained why she's Scarlet Witch. But that's why there was no big reveal or no big cameos from like the movies, because they're kind of keeping that stuff.
I also feel like they probably didn't get him because listen, damn it, I had a fucking thing.
Well, I mean,
fucking asparagus poison ivy patch isn't going to fucking show up for 5 minutes at the end of a fucking TV series. He's got more going on in his life than to fucking show up for that shit.
I don't know if I agree with that. I'm like,
it's weird that he wouldn't sense it. Like if Agatha sensed the magic before she got there, and Doctor Strange is the Sorcerer Supreme. Supposedly Wanda's the only one stronger. He should have.
I mean, if he's in New York,
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, even then, if to C-Man's point, if he's a Sorcerer Supreme, I don't think it matters geographically where he is. He should have picked up on a period. I mean, but
at least Wong would have fucking like sent his ass a text message and be like, "You will not fucking believe what's going on in Jersey right now." And then Stephen Strange is just like fucking. He's in Hamanatra or where the fuck he is, and he's just like, "I can't do that right now. I'm auditioning to play Sherlock Holmes again."
Yeah, I mean,
I hope that the movie explains
I'm
why
positive he was doing other shit. Like the movie probably is taking the movie could be taking place simultaneous to the film, and Wanda could show up like at the very end of.
I think she's supposed to be featured throughout.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
Yeah, that's my feeling as well.
I kind of interpret her as being like third billing, maybe like Benedict, and then like maybe Rachel McAdams, and then her, or vice versa.
And even, I mean, I'm not making a joke, but even maybe Benedict Wong being ahead of her, because I think he's gonna, he's gonna play more of a role, I think, as well. Especially if you're gonna give him, I know it's probably more for the comedic foil, but if you're gonna give him that moment he has right before the fight in Endgame, where he's like, "What, you wanted more?" Like, I think that's setting the stage for him to be more of a player going forward. So.
I just hope he gets his fucking tuna on rye or his tuna melt.
Yeah, right. I want to get back to something C-Man said though about the big cameo and not really having that. And to that, I agree with you. I don't really have a problem that there wasn't one. My point for bringing it up is more that you got, and this might have been someone speaking out of turn, but you got Ashley Olsen talking about you're going to get a Hamill-esque level cameo in WandaVision that you got in Mandalorian. And look, while I liked the twist of bringing the other Quicksilver in and him being in a couple episodes, I thought that was cool. That's not a Hamill-esque level show up.
Not at all.
That was the biggest mislead that they had. I actually kind of liked the Bettany stuff, like that he was talking about, being on screen with himself. Like that was kind of funny. But the Hamill, that was a big misdirect because it definitely played into the fact that everybody thought someone big was coming, like Magneto.
Or it could have been him. I thought somehow Tony makes a reappearance because it's this fake world, right? So, like, you know what I mean? Like, did I say Ashley Kateri? I did mean Liz. If I said I've done that a bunch of times, but yeah, it is Elizabeth.
Not all Olsen sisters look alike, just two of them.
They actually look pretty close.
They all, but then there's like, hey, you're a
Elizabeth Olsen. Elizabeth Olsen doesn't look like she's on drugs.
Well, that's true. Yes, that's true.
So I just looked up Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness to see where it's going.
Yeah.
They don't have any definitive stuff, obviously, but Carl Mordo is coming back as the villain for that particular film.
Figured, yeah.
So I don't think they're going to do anything where Wanda is villainous in that. But I also just realized they're putting America Chavez in there.
Yeah.
And wait, who?
I did not realize that we were bringing in Miss America already.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm actually kind of okay with that because like that's setting the stage for Series 5.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know what Series 5 is.
Wave 5, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Oh, Phase 4, Phase 5.
Phase 5. Yeah, that's what I'm going for there. So, they're setting the stage by bringing her in, and I'm pretty sure she's probably going to be a major player in the next series of films.
I got to be honest with you, like of the films that are coming out, and I'm setting Blade aside from this statement because I don't know how much are tying that into the rest of the overall story arc, but I am truly intrigued by the next Doctor Strange. Even before WandaVision, I was intrigued, but now that I've seen WandaVision, I'm that much more invested. But then, and I can't. Mark, do you have the movies up in front of you, or just
I do?
Okay.
I do. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 movies coming that are definitely planned.
There's one specifically that I always fuck the name up, so I'm gonna reference it the way I know how to do it, and then if you could say the actual title for me, I would appreciate it. But
sure,
It's the 10 Rings movie.
Shang-Chi.
Okay.
Shang-Chi.
So like I'm really curious to see what they're going to do with that, because I think even if it's not directly, those two movies are going to impact each other strongly. And so as such, I'm really kind of curious to see how they're going to play out. Now, I'm also very curious about Blade, and I want to see it, but I don't know how that's going to tie into everything else. That's why I'm kind of...
Blade actually isn't announced yet. That is to say, they don't have a plan for it right now. It's not in the future listing, I'll put it that way. So they've announced it, but there's apparently no real idea of what they're doing with it at this stage of things.
No, I know they casted Blade unless it changed, but that's the only thing I do know.
No.
So, but
See, man, you were gonna say something.
Well, I was gonna. So, if you want to go like deep and crazy,
we do
as
that.
far as theory things coming out of WandaVision, that could. So, some of the stuff that could still be in play. The one that I've been pushing, because it's one that I came up with myself. I heard the Mephisto one from New Rockstars, but the idea of Cthulhu coming into the universe. Not only does he give Wanda the chaos magic, and in the comics actually corrupts her and takes on the Avengers, but he's also responsible for all vampires. So, like, there is some like, I was just doing like some deep dive shit and just reading in the areas where he pops up. And for anyone that doesn't know, he's basically one of like 4 entities called Elder Gods that have been around for forever. And he ruled the Chaos Realm, and he was trapped inside Mount Wandagore, which could be the mountain that is behind that cabin. And he sensed when Wanda and Pietro were born, touches Wanda before he gets banished again, and actually like embeds a piece of himself in there that slowly corrupts her. But it gave her the chaos magic. So like that, and then like just some of the other things, like he's run into Loki, and I mean you could go down rabbit hole after rabbit hole after rabbit hole, but there are definitely ways that could tie all of these things together between the magic realm and the science realm. I think that's one of the other things the show did really, really well, was setting up the fact that magic and science, you know, can work together. I mean, it's similar to stuff that Thor has said, but very much they were setting up a magical villain in storyline and a science villain in storyline. And I think you're going to see those kind of play out as we move through, because I would think Shang-Chi is going to get into the magical realm a little bit because of the 10 rings. So like there's definitely roots, but I think Feige's probably playing another long game. Like you're going to have somebody who's in the shadows for a while. And then you're also going to have all the space stuff, which I think will tie in with Monica and all that.
Rico, there's 2 seconds, and you go off on your thing, because mine just. I swear to God, I think that cabin that she ends up in is the same cabin at the end of Hulk. I'm not joking. I think it's the same goddamn cabin. I really do.
She just, what you don't see is Edward Norton all tied up in like the basement or something.
Right? So, anyway, you were going to say something, Rico.
I was going to ask what Seaman's opinion of who do you think will be the Thanos for the next phase? Who do you think is going to be the big bad? Because I have my money set on Galactus, personally.
Yeah, I think he definitely, like I said, kind of setting up the space story, which, you know, will tie in all the stuff with Sword and the Skull and the Kree and Secret Invasion and Thor and all of them, and then the magic and the science. I definitely think Galactus is going to be in play. From the other sides, I think it could be, you know, I think it's going to be multiple guys. I don't think it's going to be just like one bad thing. Just if kind of what you're seeing as far as like a track being laid with the idea of science, magic, and space, it could be a culmination of things. It could be several different ones. But I definitely think Galactus is going to be one of
at least
those.
In Fantastic Four.
And if it's not, I would. That'd be one of the first times.
It could be Doom. Really, I mean, Doom could be. He maybe not like Thanos level, but he could definitely be like lower level, who just still kind of reoccurs and comes back. Like I don't know. They brought back fucking Zemo.
It would be Loki. Loki reappears multiple times. The only difference is that he kind of gets that arc where he kind of starts going good. I don't think you'll get that with Doom, but I don't think you'll get that with Doom. But you know, which I'm fine with. I don't need that in Doom either. Like I don't need Dr. Doom to suddenly be like, "Oh, I love everybody. Here's a flower." Like no, I think
I think with a name like fucking Dr. Doom, and his name is Victor Von Doom. It's not like he's gonna be like, oh fuck, I gotta. All right, my name is Dome now.
Dome.
You know, God, yeah,
Dome. Dome.
I tell you what, I do think that the Eternals movie could potentially have clues to what the big bad is, just because that's going to go all the way back, which could bring in something like the Elder Gods or things of that nature. So there's definitely Feige's got everything at his fingertips.
And when you said Elder Gods earlier, when you were talking about that one character, I immediately thought of the Eternals. You know, I mean, I don't know much about what's going to happen beyond the fact that apparently it's going to be a little odd compared to the stuff we've seen to this point. Not necessarily bad, just very different. Well, you know, so
we were given that with Guardians of the Galaxy, because when they announced Guardians of the Galaxy, we were all like, who and what the fuck, and then we saw it, and then every single person who walked out of the theater was like, that was awesome, that was so fucking amazing, and they're all quoting Groot and shit and making jokes.
Well, first off, like, not like it's hard to quote Groot. That's number one. Number two.
But I'm saying, like, they were coming out of that like they were like, oh, I was already fans of, you know, fucking Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, I didn't know who the fuck Guardians was.
No, I didn't either. But see, and here's the thing: with all respect to Kevin Feige, because we all agree, you know, he's hitting it out of the park left and right. But I think that if you don't have James Gunn, that movie's not as good as it was. And that's why, and Nico, you and I talked about it when he was off 3 for a while there, and obviously they've since brought him back. But when he was officially not going to be involved in 3, you and I were both like, this movie's going to suck.
Yeah. Whoever was going to be the replacement director, I don't know. It just, there are, like, you can replace, I don't mean to be rude about it, but like, you could replace Scott Derrickson, you know, for, you know, the guy who directed Doctor Strange. Like, I fucking dug Doctor Strange, and I like Scott Derrickson as a horror director. Like, I thought that fucking movie he did, God damn it, I mean, it was so memorable. I totally remember it. Yeah, see? The one with fucking, you know, Ethan Hawke and the fucking snuff films. God damn it. It's Sinister. I think he's got an eye for horror films, and that's why I was really pumped for him to do Doctor Strange too, because they kept pushing like, this is this is gonna be our first forte into horror films. And I'm like, fuck yes. And then he left for whatever the fuck the reason was, and I was like, oh fuck, who's gonna do that? And then Sam Raimi was like, hi, and we're like, okay, that's fine with me. You fucking do that shit.
Yeah. Well, and Raimi can play in the Marvel way, you know, like, he can have fun, he can bring comedy, like, he meshes the world of like what Marvel likes to do.
Well, all of his horror films tend to be really fucking funny, whether it's Evil Dead.
We have a new viewer, and I wanted to say hello to Tack. I don't think you've never been here before, but thanks for coming to hang out with us on PodAskew. Go ahead. Yeah.
So, I mean, you're right. Like, but every one of his horror films, like, what was that? Drag Me to Hell? That's really fucking funny. It's so funny.
It's amazing. Dude, she punches the witch in the mouth and the arm just keeps going and going.
The old gypsy bitch tries to fucking deep throat her chin.
Yeah.
Or how she gets stapled in the face with a stapler. Like, you're watching this, you're like, you did Spider-Man. What the fuck? And Spider-Man 1 is pretty straight. Like, it's got some funniness, but it's really a straightforward superhero movie, which is why it works so well.
I think I heard Mark groan there. I'm guessing you don't like that, Mark, or did I miss something?
No, I didn't groan.
Oh, it's not. No, well, there's some overlap today, and so I thought.
No, Mark's just breathing. When he breathes, it sounds like a groan.
Yeah. Stop. I will definitely say that. You know, have you seen the original Evil Dead? A lady got raped by a tree.
Okay, well, I mean, that one's not as funny.
Yeah.
But there's still some funny in it. That part.
By the time you get to Army of
Look,
really
but look, I mean, nothing again. I don't think getting raped is funny, period. But if he remade Evil Dead now, the tree would have said, "I am Groot" in the midst of it. So
that's just wrong.
So is a lot of Evil Dead.
Yeah, I've only ever seen Army of Darkness of the three of those, so I can't
Oh man.
speak to the other.
So you just saw so that's like saying, oh, I've only saw Spider-Man 3. You're like, oh, dude, no.
No. Army of Darkness is generally a good movie.
I
Spider-Man
didn't say
3
Spider-Man 3
is-
was a bad movie. I'm saying it's a completely different.
Yeah, no,
item.
that's correct. That's correct.
Yes.
Spider-Man 3 is I don't hate it, but I'm vastly in the minority there.
Yeah, see, man, I will also.
You could just.
Well, yeah,
you could just
I
tell the
will
studio
say
metal.
this, man, just so
You know?
you're aware, because I know you're new to our family here, but Mark is our predominant Spider-Man expert. If there's a guy that we know Spider-Man, it's him.
All
so if he's saying it's tolerable, I'm giving it some credence, So
I'm
I know
I'm not.
No,
I'm
no,
not
no.
saying that's not tolerable. It's just you can
Sure,
you can
I know.
tell the studio metal.
wasn't
That's
saying-
I want to
what
know who
is upsetting.
I want to know
'Cause
who the
Raimi's
fuck
better than
stepped
that.
in and said, you know what we need? We need Tobey Maguire to act like an emo bitch and play some jazz piano and then dance like an asshole and wink at chicks
Listen,
and have them.
that
be
is
repulsed
unironically
by
the
him.
best moment of that film. Fuck you. It's so
No.
fucking terrible.
Yes, that's see that.
And
It
then
is
That's what we
unironically
all
the best
needed with
moment of the
Spider-Man
film.
3.
It is
And then-
unironically the best moment of the film because it's so fucking bad it loops around to being good again.
and then
Yeah.
No.
And I think it's purposely bad. Like I thought that. I thought. That
And
was
I
a
also
choice
like
that
I'm
Raimi was
pretty
making
sure
that.
no one gave Tobey Maguire the fucking memo. Like, okay, this is supposed to be that. He's just like, I'm going to play this absolutely straight. Like, they're going to love my dancing. And we're like,
I mean, Raimi may have told him to play it straight because he knew it.
what, CJ? What were you going to say?
I was going to say, I love how, to Mark's point, that it's so bad that they felt the need to reference it in Spider-Verse. Like, they felt the need to be like, they show like an animated version of it and they go, and that happened. That's all they say about it. It's like, and that happened, And to be fair, and this is
It did happen.
No, it did, but this is also like, this is also just a product of being your friend as long as I have, Mark. When he says that in that movie, I hear it in your voice, not Chris Pine's voice, because that sounds, so, Mark, we don't need to write this second, but before we wrap up, Kateri is asking for the cast list for the Spider-Man play you're writing for us, if you happen to have that.
I think it's on my Google Drive. I just need to fucking click two buttons and I can tell you.
Okay, well, we don't need to
You
write.
don't know?
Yeah, you don't know it off the top of your head? What the fuck?
You're the fucking
I
expert
barely
on
know.
Spider-Man. This is
I barely know what day it is at this point.
It's Friday.
So
It's Fandom Friday.
the cast list. So it's CJ, myself, Rico, Smoke, Rebecca, Stephanie, and Henry. So far,
Right. So far. So.
who the roles are? That's at least
I thought
partially a secret.
Oh yeah, that's a
Some is,
secret.
some
That's,
is.
the only one that we've announced, because we talked about it openly on this show. I don't know if you were here for it. Is we did announce specifically that Smoke is playing Deadpool,
I was here for that.
and
And I'm
that
gonna be Spider-Man because fuck you, it's my goddamn script.
right.
If Henry
Oh my
gets to
God,
be Batman,
Henry.
I get to be Spider-Man. Fuck
Amen.
you. That's how it works.
So Seaman, I'll give you a quick backstory why this makes even more sense so it'll make more sense for you. If you haven't gone through our library yet, back on Halloween of 2019, we did what we've dubbed a pod play, which is like basically an old school radio play, based on a Batman script a friend of ours wrote, and we did the whole thing. It's got sound effects and background music and the whole bit. There you go. It's called Batman Alone. It's from it was released on Halloween Day 2019. So that's where you'll find it. I will recommend, by the way, much like Marvel films, to tie it back to what we were talking about tonight. We also did release an outtakes and blooper reel called Mastering Dick. So I highly recommend you listen to that as well after you listen to the play.
Back at Wayne Manor.
Fuck you. But yeah, so we're doing this Spider-Man play that Mark's writing, hopefully for this coming Halloween. So it'll be a fun time. Yeah, we're gonna have a good time with that.
Oh, that's amazing.
But getting back to WandaVision, I want to get to some of the technical stuff on it first. I was doing some reading and I found some interesting things out. Like for example, the first two episodes that are in black and white, they actually had to, and this has nothing to do with the story, but it has to do that they painted Paul Bettany blue instead of pink or purple, whatever color. I mean, I don't want to argue whatever that color is, but it's
he's what a maroon.
okay. But they painted them blue because the blue shows up on the hues from black and white better than in the red, purplish, maroon, whatever fuck off color that it is. So, I'm just getting ahead of it so you don't keep correcting me all goddamn night.
His fuck off white.
Fuck off white, yeah. Well, that takes me back to when I was watching the last couple episodes of Harley Quinn the other day, and
that takes you back. Period. Like fuck off white.
Yeah, but no, because she's trying on dresses and she's talking to Kite Man, and he's like, "So you really want to go with cream?" And she goes, "This isn't fucking white." And then something attacks, and then they move on to whatever else is going on. But yeah,
I'm that guy where like Steph and I are like talking about colors and shit. I'm like, oh, that's blue. She's like, that's aqua. I'm like, fuck you, it's blue. and I'm like, baby, I was like, baby, what's your favorite color? And she's like, I like crimson. I'm like, you mean red? She's like, no, it's crimson. I'm like, you mean fucking red? Like burgundy, I'll buy. Yeah. What the
Blood
fuck is
orange?
crimson?
It's fucking red, you bitch.
I mean, I'm like, you asked me what my favorite color is. I'm like, green. What shade? Fuck you, green. Like, dark green, light green, green. You know, like fucking green.
PodAskew green.
My balls, green eggs and ham.
We legit have a green. I have the hex colors on a file somewhere. We have a green.
Yeah, but if I went to fucking Home Depot and said I need some paint, can I get PodAskew green? They're gonna say, what are you talking about?
That's why you take it with you. They can do that color match shit now. I mean, come on. Just
Rico,
saying.
do you want to paint your house the same color as your podcast?
Yes, he does.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
No, he doesn't.
I want it to be like my shirt, so I could just fucking like stand there, just be like a floating head like this.
You know, it's funny because for those of you who have seen when we've done the Fumes Askew gaming with our buddy Fumes over on Facebook, there was one time he was doing one of his streams and he was wearing he was wearing a green shirt and fucking forgot.
Yep.
And the game projects behind him on a green screen, so literally with the head. You could see straight. It was literally a head with a controller. It was pretty fucking funny.
We had him do a dance. We're like, dude, Fumes, go like this. And he's just like,
yeah, it was pretty funny. I miss that guy.
We're like, hold your head, hold your own fucking head. Like,
it was good. But the show. So let's get back to the show. What? I don't even know where to go, Rico. You got any thoughts on where to go with the show? Because I feel like we're not doing it.
Let's talk about fucking. Let's talk about Catherine Hahn, dude. Like, how fucking great was she as fucking
Amazing.
Agnes or
Agatha Harkness?
Agatha Harkness, yeah.
Fucking whatever. I mean,
yeah.
Oh, is that? Oh.
Maybe it's just a me thing, but I've only ever seen her in one other thing besides this, and it's a show she was on 15, 20 years ago at this point called Crossing Jordan.
Yes, it's a you thing. You're missing out a lot of great Catherine Hahn shit, buddy.
Yeah.
Catherine Hahn is fucking amazing.
Well,
like,
she's fantastic.
As I've referenced previously on this show and on the role-playing game, apparently I don't like good movies. So, as Mark constantly tells me. So
I don't know if it's that you
Motherfucker,
don't like
I didn't even say anything.
I know.
You did plenty of times.
You have plenty of times in the past, motherfucker.
It's ingrained in the show. It's kind of like, who the fuck is Carl?
Yeah. That's true.
Mark, that was your cue, goddammit.
All I'm saying is he's got the opinions of a complete toilet. And also
there you go.
And further to the point, eventually it's not fucking what's the word I'm looking for?
What the fuck are you trying to say, buddy?
It's not gaslighting anymore after a certain point. Eventually you're just doing this shit to yourself.
Yes, but again, I think in the entirety of our friendship, you've said that to me multiple times about multiple different topics.
CJ,
Like
take a
better
fucking
things.
hint.
I don't fucking know what to tell you.
Like better things.
I don't know if it's that he doesn't like good things, it's that he just tends to like only bad things. That's
¿Por qué no
how
los
it is.
dos?
No Spico Dago.
That's Spanish.
You said why not both in Spanish?
I didn't know you
Spico.
spoke Spanish, CJ.
I do speak Spanish. Yes, thank you.
Do you really?
I do. Yes.
What's Wade Manor in Spanish?
Fuck you is what it is.
Yeah. La Casa de Juan.
Yeah. When
The
it-
Casa de Juan.
Casa de Juan. Yeah. So anyway,
It's not Juan Manor, motherfucker. It's Wayne Manor.
I know that. I was fucking around.
See,
His
man,
family
aren't you
didn't make
glad
their
you
fortune
showed up?
selling coffee.
I
great. I
will
love
say,
this.
if you do ever come on a proper PodAskew episode, it's a little more structured than this. This is
No,
definitely
it's
a lot
not.
more.
Don't lie. It's
Yeah, I was
not.
gonna say, is it?
I mean,
though?
I would.
Is it really? I don't
It
think that's
is.
true.
Conversation.
I
is
think they're fucking
conversation.
lying to this man. That's what I think's happening.
No, I don't gaslight people like you do.
I don't gaslight people. I gaslight you.
Well, that's. Am I not a
man.
person all of a sudden?
You're not people.
I mean, you said it.
Where is
Christ.
he?
Can we get back to
So,
this?
yeah,
bro? You wanted to talk about
yeah,
Catherine
Catherine
Hahn.
Hahn. I liked Catherine Hahn. She was fucking great.
Catherine Hahn. Yeah, I'm very glad that they kept her in play. One, just because she technically is a mentor to Wanda in the comics, and two, like after that performance, that's one of the things maybe that you had on your Feige list. He did not do villains well outside of Loki for a very, very long time. But Marvel has turned the corner, and they're just not like they're not throwing their villains away anymore. You know what I mean? Like they're keeping a lot of them in play.
Yeah, I really
That's
am
debatable.
glad that they've stopped killing their villains. Like we don't need to kill all of our villains. It's not necessary.
I mean, there are like I liked fucking Obadiah Stane, you know, as the OG Iron Man villain. I thought he was more compelling than fucking Whiplash and Aldrich Killian. Even though like they're all
100%.
great, they choose great actors to play interesting villains, but then they're just like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, like Yellow Jacket is just fuck off. Like someone swatted Yellow Jacket. Like, you know, it's because Corey Stoll is a fucking great actor, and they're just like, oh god, why not? Why introduce him?
Oh,
if you're not
yeah.
gonna keep him?
Yeah, see,
The-
well,
There's more depth to them.
and also
villains now.
even
Like,
when
they
they kill
build them
some
a
of them
little
off, at least the plan was to bring them back. Because my immediate thought is Killmonger. Now, obviously, with Chadwick passing, I don't know if they're still going with the same plan. But up to the point of that occurring, the plan was to somehow bring Killmonger back for the sequel to Black Panther. Now, I don't know what they're going to do, if they're still going to find a way to work that character into the story with T'Challa being gone. So I don't know, but
Regardless, I always felt like they were going to put Killmonger in a Vision situation, not the Vision situation, but like when he's like in the spectral afterlife, hanging with his dad and blah blah blah. I imagined he was going to have a conversation. I didn't think Killmonger was going to have a big role in the sequel. They may have changed that, but I also think it would probably be pretty disrespectful on all accounts if they had Killmonger come back and then become the king of Wakanda, because technically he would have the right to the throne.
Yeah, no.
On the other hand, I also think the actress who plays fucking Shuri shouldn't really. Yeah, I don't know if Letitia Wright should.
Letitia
really,
Wright, yeah.
like she says a lot of controversial shit, but I loved her character. I would vote for her to have the mantle, even though I'm like, God damn it, can't they fucking recast her? God damn it.
Well, why? What did I miss this time? What did?
Well, I mean, it was over in a day, but she said a lot of shit that was like anti-vaccination and was linking to other like articles and videos where they basically said like this vaccination can cause homosexuality.
Yeah.
Stupid like shit like that. And I mean, like, she took it all down, and then she ended up deleting her Twitter. So she is trying to not fucking do that.
Yeah,
But it's like,
Ahem. In December 2020, Letitia Wright faced backlash over a video she publicly shared on Twitter in which the speaker questioned the safety of taking COVID-19 vaccine. In addition to, quote, appearing skeptical of climate change, accusing China of spreading COVID-19, and making transphobic comments. YouTube subsequently deleted the video for violating its terms of service. Wright later clarified she wasn't against vaccines, but it is important to ask questions, and, quote, my intention was not to hurt anyone. My only intention of posting the video was it raised concerns what the vaccine contains and what we are putting in our bodies. She has since quit social media, which 100% is a thing people say when they are fucking anti-vaxxers.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so moving on, the plan was they were going to give Sherry the character.
Right.
The last I heard
They
was
still might.
after Chadwick passed, the new plan tentatively was to give Sherry the Black Panther mantle, but not the kingdom. They were going to have someone else sit on the throne. So
Winston Duke.
Baku.
See, I'm in a very disappointing situation here where
I'd like that.
I have a character I would like to have it, and I have an actress who I would like to have it, but they're not the same character. Not the
okay,
same person. The character I would want to have it is Shuri, because narratively speaking, within the confines of the Black Panther storyline, she is the most appropriate to play the role of the Black Panther. The actress I would prefer to have it is Lupita Nyong'o, because she's fucking badass.
yes.
But she's playing the character
amazing, yeah.
Nakia, who I didn't see the movie, so I don't know how important that character is.
Very.
But that character is not. I can't imagine her becoming the next Black Panther.
Well, I mean, and so this goes back to some of the stuff that Seaman was saying earlier about Feige, though. Like, and Rico and I have said this equally as much on previous things, is that he takes what's there and twists, especially for the movie verse, he'll twist it enough that you don't feel like it's a disrespect to the origin material, and it allows for new things to occur. So in that vein, you could see that character getting the Black Panther mantle, regardless of what happened in the book with Shuri. And I would also argue that at least for the people in this room, no one's going to give a shit in a negative way if Shuri ends up getting it over that character. But to Mark's point, that because I'm kind of with you, Mark, I hadn't thought of it until you said it, but now that you say it, I kind of wanted to go that way, not because of what this actor said, but just because I think that fits what's been going on in the movie universe better than what.
Well,
exactly.
Right.
And Lupita's the leading lady. Like she could carry the franchise. Sure, Sherry's good.
I have to agree with you. I think Lupita would be better off in the Black Panther suit, and you know they seem to be.
I mean, I'm looking at a picture of her in the the character in the Black Panther suit on the Marvel Comics wiki, and I have to agree.
Yeah, she would be fine. But
her cans are fucking amazing.
That's not quite where I was starting, but sure. Yeah. So that's what I Mark, you're making a good pull there. I don't know if that's what he's going to go, but I would be okay with that personally.
I think that honestly, the major thing holding it away from doing that sort of thing is whether or not Lupita Nyong'o would actually want to be bothered being associated with the MCU for that extended period of time. They probably don't have her locked into the same kind of contract that they had like a Chadwick Boseman or an Elizabeth Olsen or whoever because I don't think the character is as.
You know who I'm getting her confused with? You know who I'm getting? I've actually got her confused, guys, and it's my apologies to everybody here. I've got her confused with T'Challa's bodyguard, that woman that's almost always there. That's who I think.
I don't know if she'd be allowed to.
Why?
I don't think.
Why?
Okoye. I don't think Okoye, because she's part of the royal guard. I don't think you can take on the throne in that circumstance.
I don't want her to
take
the throne. I want her to take the black.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'm totally fine with that. If they go that way,
it would be fine characterization-wise for Okoye to take it over as well. That character is also very important within the lore of the Black Panther comic. I don't know who the actress is, but
She's really
Denai
good. Though.
Guerrera.
She's
believe
really
it.
Denai Guerrera.
yeah. And
Yeah.
here's what I would say. I would say put her in the Black Panther suit. Put Shuri on the throne potentially. You know, that's how I would do it. You know, so. But you know what? Here's the interesting thing is neither one of them showed up in WandaVision.
Well, they don't have to. Oh, she's
look,
Michonne.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, no,
So-
I don't like
Yeah,
The
from
Walking
Walking
Dead, but
Dead.
I like her character in The Walking Dead, so I'm on board with
Yes.
that. I'm on board with that. But yeah, it's not every film has to, not every show or every film has to necessarily be associated with it in any capacity, and
No.
I don't think Black Panther as a character would have anything to do with Scarlet Witch as a character.
No.
I
was
if
just
there
trying
were
to-
another Captain America movie, that would be my default suggestion. But
I was just.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some Black Panther characters pop up in Falcon and Winter Soldier because they were friendly with Cap. They were friendly with Bucky.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't surprise me if Bucky retained those connections and we saw
sure.
some of those characters pop up.
Right, but when if Bucky goes back to Wakanda,
Yeah.
you need to recast him with Mark Hamill. Just de-age Mark Hamill, and fucking because Sebastian Stan and Mark Hamill definitely look exactly alike.
Yeah, sure.
There's
Same
your Luke
person.
cameo for.
I hope
That's how you get
gets
the Luke cameo
Luke
that stuns
Skywalker
everybody
show.
on Marvel. That's how you get fucking Mark Hamill.
So let me throw out a hypothesis here. And Mark, honestly, my original point for them not being on WandaVision was just trying to get it back to the topic, but that's okay.
That's fine.
But
For me, honestly, the one thing that was really depressing about WandaVision is that they specifically. What were you going to say?
I was going to say that because Sam the Falcon is getting the Cap title officially now, I know that the concept of the show that's coming out next Friday, so that's when the first one airs, is that there's some controversy within the government about Sam being Cap and they want Bucky. Assuming that by the end of the series, Sam is still Captain America, what about, and this is not me having a problem with a female in the suit, but how about Bucky going back to Wakanda and becoming the Black Panther?
No. Extremely no.
Okay.
I need you to look up the word colonialism for me, sir.
That's not what I was saying, but
Listen, there isn't. I understand where you're going with this, right? And I don't think it's a problem from a writing perspective, but from a contextual perspective, I need you to understand nobody on earth is going to be okay with a fucking white guy leading a tribe of black people.
Hold on. I have to interrupt. Tack hasn't said anything, and then he just said, "Agree 100%."
Right.
Nicely done. Nicely done.
I want to stress just for the record here that I'm not saying it because it's a white guy. I'm saying it because he's got a relationship with the Wakanda.
I get why you're saying it, and I understand, which is why I'm not shitting on you for it.
No,
just I need you to understand contextually that is
But
narratively, yes, that is an absolutely great idea. And if we lived in a world where the context wasn't a problem, I would nod and go along with it. But contextually, that is the worst idea. And that's nothing to do with you. I'm not saying it's a bad idea, like you're a bad idea. You know, I'm not saying that like
100%.
you're a bad person or whatever. It's just context. You're looking at it from a perspective that is a little bit more. If we lived in a better world than the one that we live in, I think.
I wasn't even honestly when I was putting it together. I wasn't even thinking of it from that perspective.
I know, and that's why I'm saying, like, I think your point of view on it was much more. Man, this would be like, I wish we lived in a better world than we fucking live in right now.
It is kind of like it's fan fictioning. Like, oh man, wouldn't it be fucking great if like Luke was in the Boba Fett armor, and then everyone would be like, no, it doesn't work like that. But
well,
like,
it's.
I agree.
I'm sorry.
I agree, but
go ahead.
the biggest issue would be like African Americans finally got a superhero.
No, for
And
sure.
then
And I was not shitting on any of that.
And you
Like,
gotta
No.
make a wife?
I know you weren't, but I'm telling you, from someone who fucking lives here, like, there will be fucking riots because, like, there were fucking
Killmonger's home.
legitimate like praises and excitement for, like, one of my all-time favorite things that Mark Bernardin said to Kevin was before Black Widow came out. He was talking
Black
about
Panther.
Black Panther, and he said he was a total stranger, but he's like, hey, when you're black and you see another black guy, you're like, oh, dude, hey, black guy. When you're a sea of white people around you, you automatically like, what's up, man, black guy?
Yeah.
And he he saw another black guy as they were just passing each other, and he did the whole head nod, and the black guy, in response to the head nod, said, Black Panther's coming out in 2 weeks. And that was he said, like, that was the best
Remember that?
acknowledgement of, hey, we're gonna get our own shit. You know, we're happy. It's like, hey, what's up, man? Black Panther's coming out in 2 weeks. Okay, then.
Well,
You take that away, be like, Bucky's gonna be Black Panther. Fuck you.
well, yeah, and again, like I wasn't going anywhere outside of the fact that you know they've got, right.
You're all gonna flip out when I tell you that fucking
Narratively speaking.
Joseph Fiennes is gonna play Michael Jackson in a movie.
Who?
Rafe Fiennes' brother, Joseph Fiennes, is playing Michael Jackson in a movie, or at least he was. I don't know if that's, but that was real. No. That
That's
was
real?
announced,
I thought that was a joke.
and then
I
people
thought
were
you were
like,
making a joke.
"What the fuck?" But I don't know if it's been canceled.
He doesn't,
He hasn't
he
been
doesn't even
canceled.
look like Michael Jackson. What?
First off, who the fuck looks like Michael Jackson except maybe Janet?
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, let's get Voldemort's brother. Like, Voldemort looks more like Michael Jackson. I mean, I'm just saying, the fucking pale skin and the fucking no nose. I mean, that's at least closer.
Ooh, if you search for
than
his name, it comes up with Joseph Fiennes Michael Jackson.
I didn't find that, right, Mark.
That's
I'm glad
crazy.
you
I
did.
can't believe
I
that's
was
a real
looking
thing.
because
Oh, shit.
it's not on his IMDb, that's for sure. So
I think I pissed off Tack. He left.
no, he left before you even said that.
Okay, good. He was just another thing taken by the white man, LOL, and then he left.
Yep, basically. Although at
He was here to observe it, and he's like, "Fuck you guys."
at least Kateri understood what I meant and is not killing me. So I'm thankful
Ooh,
for that.
yeah, they eventually canceled it. But yeah, he was gonna be Michael Jackson in an episode of a show alongside somebody. Urban Myths, it was called.
Yeah, I see that now. I found it.
Ouch.
I like how
ouch.
I'm guessing the
That's
fucking reason for
insanity.
canceling was insanity. I mean, like, I'm all for actors
Something
acting
like that.
parts, but there are some things that you should just be respectful for. And CJ, we're not like making this a big thing. This has just happened where the conversation goes. I think you had logically a great idea. Like, narratively speaking, it makes absolute sense that Winter
Narratively speaking, it
Soldier,
makes sense.
who and they even rebranded him fucking White Wolf or some shit, right? Like, he was adopted by the fucking Wakandans.
Yeah, in the comics.
He was
Mark.
raised and blah blah blah.
They did actually film the Joseph Fiennes thing. I'm watching it.
Yep. It was
Oh,
canceled,
there's
but no, it
footage?
exists. It
Oh, it
fucking
exists.
exists.
Yeah.
Does he look
Because we
the
live
part?
in hell. Because we live in hell. I need
That's
you to understand.
insane.
Somebody actually filmed that. Yes, that actually
I know.
does exist in the world and almost got put on television because we fucking live in hell. No, it did not air. They
It
canceled
did
it.
not air. No, I will.
That's
I won't do it because we're
insane.
broadcasting. But once the broadcast is over and we can still be here, I will share the screen and show it to those interested in seeing the stupidity of human beings. So, yeah, and like I said, at least Kateri had my back, so that means a lot to me. Because she's the only person in this room that rightfully has the right to be angry about that whole conversation. So that's that. Anyway. Well, yeah, Wanda. Thank you.
Can we talk about the
WandaVision.
just for a second? Can we talk about the name WandaVision? Am I the only one who kept thinking WonkaVision? You're like thinking WonkaVision.
Kind of.
I mean, it's a catchy fucking title, but at the same time, I'm like, Wonka Vision. Every single time.
Yeah, you're the same guy who had us name the episode where we talked about Wonder Woman 84 and the first 2 episodes, it's Wonder Vision. So
because we were talking about Wonder Woman and Wonka. See, that's what I'm saying. Like WandaVision. I just look, they're just you know what it is? It's because they put pure imagination in fucking Thor Ragnarok, and then they have WandaVision and WonkaVision and WandaVision are just separated by 2 fucking letters, so you know.
Kevin Feige doesn't do anything.
if he titled the Get Vocals, that's what I would call this right now. Just Kevin Feige doesn't do anything on purpose, or does everything on purpose.
How much acid do you think Kevin Feige has done to just prep for like phase 2?
So
Terry's like, I'm done.
I actually want to go back to 2 things. The first is kind of a brief aside about the WandaVision thing, but the other one is going back to a point that was made earlier that I think I had a point on, and then I lost it, and now I have it again. The first point, I understand why they did what they did, but the one thing that really kind of frustrates me about the whole WandaVision situation was Ralph Boner.
It was a dick.
Sure.
It's a nod to growing
absolutely.
pains,
though. I'm just very disappointed that was how we got Evan Peters into the MCU.
Definitely the most disappointing thing they had. In
Not
the
only
show.
that, like I love Evan Peters. I
attempted
think Evan Peters is a fucking amazing talent, and I was really hoping that we were actually going to see him be in, the MCU, and maybe we still will. But it's just very disappointing to look at this and just be like, well, he was in this and he got to be a dick joke, and now he gets to go back to fucking American Horror Story.
Well,
and it also makes it feel like if he's not Quicksilver,
Deadpool
then none
definitely
of the Fox
is.
X-Men people are coming over.
But
from any of
Deadpool
those
gets
movies,
a pass because
and that's just a waste.
No. I'm of the opinion they should
waste
shake
of talent.
I love Hugh Jackman.
Oh no.
I mean, no, I agree. I don't want those movies to be, but like, just to have them in play would be nice because the talent in some of the acting.
Smashing together the MCU with other continuities would have been, because when the Ultimate Universe, when they basically decided the Ultimate Universe sucks and we don't want it anymore, they smashed the Ultimate Universe together and we got to keep Miles. Because Miles was the only character we gave a fuck about. So that's how Miles got to be in the main MCU, because they basically said, fuck the Ultimate Universe. Nobody else from that is important. What do we want? What do we want to keep from that, really? Wanda and Pietro, who are brother and sister who fuck each other. Captain America, who's a racist. No, we don't want none of that fucking shit. And we definitely don't want the Blob, who ate fucking the Wasp in that continuity. We don't want none of that. What we do want is Miles Morales. He's the only character we fucking like. So delete the Ultimate Universe. Miles, you get to come to the 616. Congratulations. We like you. Fuck everybody else. So that's what I'm thinking. Like, fuck the Fox X-Men movies. They're fucking mostly, like, a couple of them have been good. Most of them are garbage. But seriously, like, fucking bring over dude from Wanted as Professor X.
McAvoy.
Yeah, James McAvoy. Thank you. Bring him over and give me Evan Peters as Quicksilver. The rest of them I could not give a shit less about. And if I'm going to be completely honest about it, what's her name already kind of made it plain that she didn't want to be Mystique anymore. So
I would want Fassbender as Magneto as well.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
I keep hearing rumors that Jennifer Lawrence is being offered.
Yeah, that's fair.
Jesus Christ, Sue Storm.
Mm-hmm. I'm okay with that. I know she didn't want to be Mystique anymore, probably because the prosthetic work was fucking garbage. Yeah. But
well, by Dark Phoenix, she wasn't in the fucking makeup anymore. She was. Yeah, she was like, "Fuck you! I'm Oscar-winning Jennifer Lawrence. Like, I'm not gonna wear your blue shit anymore." Which, incidentally, we were talking about Benedict Cumberbatch earlier. Benedict Cumberbatch was not offered the role of Thrawn for the spin-off season thing of Ahsoka Tano, because apparently he's going to be the big bad villain, and he's blue. I'm telling CJ because he doesn't know who the fuck Thrawn is. But like, if you looked at Thrawn, just imagine Benedict Cumberbatch but blue and red eyes. That's it. And he flat out said, they haven't offered it to me, but I'm already going to say no, because I don't want to be in the makeup chair and be blue every fucking day for, weeks at a time. It's just not who I am in my life right now. Whereas I say, you take fucking Tom Hiddleston, who still fits the fucking mold of young, British, thin-faced, charismatic, and can play a fucking devious, calculating Machiavellian villain extremely well. He's not crossing over from fucking Loki. He's still crossing over from fucking Disney.
Yeah.
So he's already got a contract with them. And, I think that would be the way to go. But yeah.
No.
Right.
That wouldn't be a bad way to go.
The other thing was, so we were talking about the who's going to be the big bad of the MCU, the next thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's Mephisto.
Mark, can you give me a rundown?
I could definitely see that
as a reminder of who the fuck Mephisto is, because every time I hear him, I automatically think Mr. Sinister, and I know I'm wrong.
He's the Devil Weevil.
I need more of that.
He's Marvel's version of Satan.
Mm-hmm.
That's the simplest way I can explain him. Do you remember when Peter Parker was married?
To
Mary Jane Watson Parker.
To Mary Jane, yeah.
Mephisto's the reason he's not married anymore, because he literally technically Mary Jane sold their marriage to Mephisto to bring Aunt May back to life. It's a whole thing. Don't ask me to explain it. You don't care, and it doesn't fucking matter, because they're undoing it. That is every explanation of anything in comic books. You don't fucking ask me, because you don't care, and it doesn't matter.
I do care. It may not matter, but I do care.
So Mephisto is literally Satan. So Spider-Man Mary Jane technically sold their marriage to Mephisto because
Mephisto.
That's literally what they did. Yeah. So whoever was the fucking guy writing Spider-Man at the time, I don't remember, but I hate him. Just didn't want them to be married anymore. And to give you an idea, J. Michael Straczynski wrote this storyline under protest and insisted his name be taken off of it because he hated it so much. So basically, they shoot fucking Aunt May with a fucking bullet. And
as you do.
Yeah, because everybody knows who Spider-Man is, so somebody shoots Aunt May. If I explain anything further back, we're going to be here for the rest of the runtime. Just go with it, okay?
Did Henry write this fucking thing?
It's actually worse than anything that I've seen Henry write.
Right.
It was the whole Civil War
Henry
thing. Everybody knew Peter Parker was Spider-Man. They undid it. So basically, here's the Spider-Man fucking goes to everybody in the Marvel universe and is like, my aunt's going to die, do something. And they're like, LOL, no. He goes to fucking Doctor Strange, and Doctor Strange's like, fuck off. He goes to fucking Reed Richards, and Reed Richards is like, fuck off. So finally, Mephisto's like, look, here's what I'll do for you. I'll fucking make it so that nobody knows your secret identity anymore, which technically he doesn't get credit for because the Illuminati was working on undoing that, which, again, I could explain the Illuminati, but it doesn't matter and you don't care. So he's like, I'll undo it so nobody knows who you fucking are anymore. And also, you'll get your aunt back, but you have to give up your marriage. Why? Says Spider-Man. Because your marriage is so perfect and good that it's something that makes me fucking like makes my fucking dick hard knowing that you're not married to your fucking beautiful wife anymore. That's how much of a scumbag I am. And he's like, I'm not going to fucking do that. And Mary Jane's like, too late, I already did it for you anyway. We'll get back together eventually. So now they're not doing that anymore. And it may or may not be because Mephisto wasn't the king of hell for a while. But it also may be because he is still the king of hell and is like fucking with him. But also maybe like had like his best friend remember that he betrayed. It's whatever. Anyway, the point is he's literally Satan, and he fucking ended the spider marriage.
The spider.
Yes. So he is one of the most
That's still
powerful
not as weird.
entities in the entirety of the Marvel universe. He is the literal Satan. So
But you-
the
That's
reason
still
why I
not
think
as-
Hmm?
Oh my god!
The-
I said that's still not as weird as how like Mary Jane Watson got radiation poisoning from all of Peter Parker's jism.
I mean,
No, that became a thing.
yo, the Spider-Man. What the fuck was it? Spider-Man Rain. Yeah, she died.
Yeah.
She died from radiation poisoning. He fucked her to death.
Oh,
Yeah.
Actually, technically speaking, he cream pied her to death.
Spider-Man Rain.
all I know is
Whip.
all I know is I want. I know what the next.
No, there's nowhere where that starts from cream pied his wife to death and goes to I want, and then it ends anywhere well.
Go ahead, CJ. Let's hear you. What's your next sentence?
Forget it.
I want Sam Raimi to fucking introduce fucking Mephisto and fucking cream pie, jism, death cult, and Sam Raimi could do that shit.
I was gonna say that I know what the next Disney Plus show should be. It should be an Odd Couple style show with Mephisto and Surtur.
Okay.
I'd watch that.
Yeah,
Just
no, I
two
would
fucking devils arguing with each other, and
Yeah.
Is there an opposite fucking Mephisto like in heaven? Is there like a god? That,
Jack Kirby.
It's not Stan Lee. God damn it.
No, Jack Kirby. He was the artist. When Thing died, he was resurrected by Jack Kirby, who drew his fucking Thing stuff back on and then sent him back to Earth. It was actually really touching, as opposed to being cream pied to death by Spider-Man.
Right, the Thing's thing falling off and then being drawn back. That was really touching. It's clobbering time.
Anyway, so the reason why I'm thinking Mephisto is going to be a big deal is because they introduced the Darkhold, and the Darkhold is a major fucking to-do as it relates to the dark side of the Marvel Comics universe. The downside of that is that means that we may actually end up seeing a fucking crossover with fucking Morbius into the proper MCU, which I don't think I have to tell anybody that I don't need fucking Jared Leto hanging around with fucking Bucky anytime soon. But the positive side of it is that we may actually get to see Ghost Rider come back.
See, my dumbass just wanted fucking Namor in this fucking thing. Like, and you're just like...
I think somebody actually still owns the rights to Namor, so you don't even get it.
No. Namor is coming in, allegedly. He was supposed to fucking show up in Black Panther 2. He was supposed to be the fucking villain or some shit.
Let me see the most current MCU list.
That was the original.
First off, Kateri wants you to say your Jared Leto line. Your
Nobody fucking gives a shit about fucking Jared Leto unless you're Jared Leto, and that doesn't fucking matter because as we've established, nobody gives a shit about fucking Jared Leto. Okay, so technically speaking, Namor exists in a weird gray area where he may or may not still be at least partially owned by Universal Pictures, but so long as he's not starring in a film, it probably doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Although it's very strange that She-Hulk shows up as being owned by Universal Pictures,
like he can't
but
be
they're fucking making a show about her. Yeah.
Well,
the rights might have
She's
reverted
her own
because
thing,
they've never
yeah.
done anything with
Yeah.
the character.
That's
For sure.
possible. I know that
Well,
Universal
if
still
She-Hulk
owns the
owned-
Hulk rights, which is why we're not going to get a Hulk movie.
Yeah, that's true.
It may also be that Universal Pictures
Not as of
reserves
now.
the rights to have a Hulk movie, but not a Hulk TV show.
Yep.
Could be that.
Yeah, that was the other thing I
come
was
on.
thinking is
An
that
Incredible
She-Hulk
Hulk
could
TV
not
show?
be
Who
in a
the fuck
movie
wants that?
starring, but she could be in a show.
God damn it, Rico.
You should just play the sad music in the background, CJ. The sad
it's
Hulk
I
saying
music.
had
Hulk
it,
Dark Hulk,
yeah.
that's why I keep
If I
going
had
to
it.
Tom.
Dun, 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 dun.
But Mark, to your point, the reason I keep going
See,
to Chthon is the
I'm
Dark
kind
Hold
of
stuff,
back
since
and
the
forth
author
on that one
loves the
because
Darkhold.
the core thing is Chthon is a usable villain, but everybody knows who Mephisto is. If you're like it's a
I
more
didn't until
notable
you fucking
Marvel
told me.
villain.
Yeah, I mean that. I am totally with you there. Like I could see them using Mephisto.
I just want them
and
to use a
Chthon as like pulling from both.
I
and
just want them.
giving
I
it
just want there to be a
Mephisto.
villain named
But
Jerry.
Feige did do.
You know,
Delano.
like all these fucking names. Just like
Look,
who's that? It's just like some dude named Jerry. Just be like, I've been fucking. It was me all along, fuckers.
Look, before tonight, if you had said Mephisto to me, I would have thought it was some kind of incestual porn movie. I wouldn't have known who that character was. I mean,
Starring
if it makes you
Scarlet Witch
feel
and
any better,
Quicksilver.
one of the most powerful supervillains and superheroes in the Marvel universe is named Bob.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Although
That
I
was
think
one
he's
of the
dead
best-
now.
that was one of the best things about Deadpool 2. I'm trying to remember the guy's name, but you had the one guy that was briefly on X-Force because, spoilers are all dead now. But like, what was his name?
Brad Pitt.
No, not him. The one guy that was like, I have asthma, like it was, or whatever it was. Like
It was
yeah. I can't remember.
Ned Flanders of the
Oh,
of the
yeah,
Basically,
X-Force.
his name was like Bob or something. It wasn't anything, and he was just
Bob, Agent of Hydra. Bob, Agent of Hydra.
Yeah, it was a one syllable.
He
name
routinely
for
shows
sure.
up in Deadpool stuff. He's one of the worst agents of Hydra ever, but he keeps surviving because he's kind of friendly with Deadpool, more or less.
Well, who is a good agent of Hydra? Besides Captain America in that one fucking alternate universe.
No, that was in the 616.
Yeah, but they recanted.
Well, yeah. Like Red Skull took over his brain or some shit.
Yeah, I'm sort of done with like the villains taking over, like possessing the body, like a la Doc Ock kind of shit. Like I'm kind of like, all right, it's been done a little bit too much now. Let's have just villains be fucking villains, maybe. Or is that going to fuck with your fucking script?
What is this now? I'm sorry.
Take the dick out of your mouth.
It's a sandwich.
Yeah, swallow that sandwich, buddy.
Yeah, get your fucking Seaman all over it.
Yeah.
I already made one earlier in the episode, and everybody knows
like
sold me.
5 minutes in. Yeah, it just went over.
I just said, so long as you don't get all over my face, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Look, since we have 20 minutes left, but really we have 15 minutes left. See, man, let's talk to you. Like, plug your shit.
Yeah,
what do you do?
Sure. Oh shit! Yeah. So for you those that don't know, C-Man's Cinema Sit Down, C-Man ' Cinema Sit Down is one word. On YouTube, I review movies, TV shows. I did the whole run for WandaVision. I'll be doing the entire run for all the Marvel shows. So I can get up East Coast at 3:00 in the morning. Watch the episode down. Non-spoiler goes up first, so people who can't see it till later have something to watch. A lot of people dug that with this one. And then I do a spoiler review, which can range anywhere from 30 to 90 minutes because I talk like a motherfucker. But I always put chapter markers in those so that people can bounce around. But yeah, movies, TV shows, trailer reactions, all that good YouTube movie type shit I do over at my page. C-Man Cinema Sit Down.
Yeah, man. And
Twitter
you're always
is
welcome
cinema
here.
_sit
I mean,
down.
obviously, you see the insanity that we do here.
Well, thank you. Even if you said no,
seriously, we're very open to having people on the show. We like having people here, and we've recently lost a few fans for reasons that are not worth getting into. So it'd be nice to have some people, transition in, for lack of a better phrase. So
replacements.
I wasn't going to go that far, but okay, sure.
Hey, I'm totally
I'll say it
for this stuff.
Okay. Going back to you guys, you guys were talking about Evan Peters and Pietro and things like that. I still think there's a way to bring him in as Quicksilver as it current, even with everything that happened, right? I think think there's a couple different ways to do it. I'm still working all the different paths out in my head, but one of them, because C-Man, you mentioned earlier, like you think she's trying to find a way to actually get her kids out of like the other multiverse and bring them in to this universe. If for some reason they grow up faster or something, he could be he the actor Evan Peters could play the older version of her son that has the Quicksilver powers. Maybe he's not Pietro, he's Tommy. Was that one Tommy? I always get the backwards. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was Tommy and Billy. I forget which one had the speed though. That's why I was trying to remember.
Tommy.
But
AKA
Tommy,
Speed.
yeah. So maybe he's Tommy instead of Pietro, but there's still a way to bring him, the actor, in being a similar character. Because Mark, to your point about
sure.
And yes, I know I'm gonna probably get crap for this too. I liked more of those X-Men films than most people, but I would think that even of the ones you liked, you would probably agree that the ones that he was in as Quicksilver were probably the best parts of those movies, or at least near the top of the stuff that takes place in the movies. Maybe not the best part, but certainly near the top of the film. So I think that's one way to do it. I think it's a way to bring him in, and I'm so curious to see what they're going to do with the X-Men. I'm not with Rico. Rico and I are on opposite ends about them recasting and shaking the whole thing up. Like I knew certain people aren't going to come over, like Jennifer Lawrence probably or whatever. But I think the guy that you had playing Cyclops by the end of the new batch, I could see him coming through. I could see the girl that played Storm coming through. The other thing, since we're just talking about different people playing different things, there is talk now of oh Christ, why am I blanking on his name? Captain America.
Chris Evans
reprising his Johnny Storm role in the new the new Fantastic Four.
Having him do as a cameo would be a good idea.
Like a
multiverse of madness or something.
Yeah.
Having him do it long term, I don't think he would want to, just because, if he wanted to be a superhero, he'd stay Captain America. I think he just wants to do something that isn't superheroing for a while.
Well, fine. Yeah.
Yeah. Because, the feeling I've always had is that him and Downey are coming back at some point. It's just when. That's why they push time through with Ant-Man, right? Because it allows you to bring back Chris Evans whenever the fuck you want.
He still has one of the best lines when he's like,
you just de-age him by
someone peed my pants. It was either old me or young me or just me.
Or me.
Time to play my favorite game. Who shit in my pants?
You're on your own for playing that.
We are getting to the end, as you mentioned, Rico. We're coming up on the end, but I would like, since C-Man is new to the show and it seems like he's going to be a regular viewer, it appears. So I'd like to introduce him to PodAskew.
Oh, that's a great idea.
So we play a game here from time to time that we have dubbed PodAskew, and it's kind of like a 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, except there's no Kevin Bacon.
Right.
Basically, we'll name 2 actors, and you have to get from actor A to actor B in either order, and it can take as many steps as you need, but you just have to get from one to the other. That's the only rules
You're
are
gonna discredit my movie right off the top.
Animation doesn't count. Voiceovers don't count. So, like, if they were in an animated film, that doesn't count. And like, for example, James Earl Jones as Darth Vader doesn't count. Excellent.
Jason, she's been following you for a long time, for ages.
Yeah. Our fan Jay, our Uber fan from Oz, says she's a huge fan of yours. So there you go. So I'm gonna start with Rico here,
yes, that I do
and then if you want to give it a shot before we wrap up, we'll let you give one a try here. Rico, I'm gonna go a little easy on you just so we can see if breeze through. Yeah, I'm gonna go Vin Diesel to Harrison Ford.
Okay.
Or either way. And again, Seaman, he can go either way. He can start with Harrison or Vin. It doesn't matter. I say it in order, but it doesn't matter in terms of the rules.
Okay.
Is that harder,
Okay, so
is that harder than it's supposed to be, or do you need an easier one?
no, I think I could probably do it, but I can't use, just as an example, I can't use Vin Diesel as Groot,
Right.
for example. So I have to think sort of outside the box in terms of like, which unfortunately is I haven't seen a whole lot of Vin Diesel movies. I know he's in some fucking like
Just pick a Fast and the Furious, and I'll help you with the So
right. He was in Top Gear. Is that what's fucking called?
yeah, no.
Fantastic Cars and Where to Drive Them. So Vin Diesel was in Fast and the Furious, one of them, with, let's just go, The Rock, right? So The Rock has also been in fucking everything.
Fast 5. Just say Fast 5. That's the first one they were.
Okay, so
there you go.
Fast 5, because that's a title. And then The Rock was in. Oh, actually, well, fuck, I don't remember what the title of the movie is. So The Rock was in The Mummy Returns with Brendan Fraser, and Brendan Fraser was in a fucking movie with Harrison Ford, but I can't remember what the fuck it was called, so that doesn't count. So, and I'm doing this just by pure memory. I'm writing down the names.
Oh, by the way,
I may not even get my
when you're
path.
done, Rico, if you
No,
want
you're
to
getting a
see
whole
the
other
same
one.
one,
All
I had
right.
a
Well,
different
no.
path.
Obviously, he gets the idea of how the game's
Harrison Ford right
played. Do you just want to tell us your path? It seems like you have.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, so you go Vin Diesel, Fast and Furious to Paul Walker. Paul Walker
Is
Into
it
the
called
Deep
Into
with
the
Jessica
Deep?
Alba. Jessica Alba in Sin City with Bruce Willis.
What's it called? Very good.
Oh,
No,
it's
keep going.
not.
You can keep.
Fuck, I
If
fucked
you
up.
make that mistake, that's
It's-
fine. Yeah.
Into the Blue.
See, I've never
So
even seen that movie.
Yeah, so I'm just
But you
disappointed
fucked
in
up.
myself. I should have known that. But then,
Yeah.
Yeah, it happens. So then get me Jessica Alba to Sin City, which will get me to Bruce Willis,
Wait,
which you can
okay.
take to
Sam
Die
Jackson,
Hard
okay, yep.
3, which gets me to Samuel Jackson.
Harrison Ford.
Oh wait, where was I going?
It happens to
Yeah, I
us all the
forgot the
time.
piece after
Don't
Samuel
feel bad.
Jackson.
It happens all the time.
Oh, I can
hold
help
on,
you.
wait.
I can help you.
All right.
No, I can't.
Fuck, where was
Because I was
Okay.
going to go, Samuel Jackson was in Changing Lanes with Ben Affleck, who played Jack Ryan, but no, that doesn't fucking work.
Yeah, no.
Who's this for
But
trying
Samuel
to do?
Jackson is the way to go because Samuel Jackson's is in
Yeah,
like
no.
fucking everything with everybody. Yeah.
All right, so
What were we trying to do? Vin Diesel to Harrison
it's
Ford?
in everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where did I?
Hmm.
Oh, where did
Are
I?
you going to be
have
that guy just be like,
going?
aren't they in like this one movie together?
I'm trying to think.
By the way, C-Man, just so you know.
Oh! I have it.
Okay.
So you go back to Sin City instead of Bruce Willis, you get
Finish
Josh
it for me.
Hartnett. Josh Hartnett was in Hollywood Homicide. And yes, I've seen that. I'm the one person who saw that fucking
No,
movie.
yeah, he's right. He's right.
Yeah.
You also could have gone. I want to say. I feel like Harrison
Yeah.
Ford was in one of the Expendables movies.
He was, too.
Was he? Was he? Okay.
Yeah, so you could go that way with the Furious films to Jason Statham.
Was oh, all right.
Yes.
Mhm.
Um,
I haven't seen all the fucking Furious flicks. So.
Yeah, that would be great.
I haven't
No,
seen
it's-
any of them. I just know that fucking Vin Diesel and Jason Statham are in like a preponderance of them.
No, 3. 3 of the 8. So.
That's a good chunk.
That's not a
Like
preponderance.
3 out of 8.
Preponderance would be 6 of the 8. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, can we just address the fact for a moment that like
Oh, shit.
of all the fucking knowledge that CJ would have, he knows what preponderance means.
Fuck you.
I'm not like no. Listen, it's just like you're the first person who will be like I don't know this, I don't know that, etc. That's a thing that you've been exposed to in your life.
Yes. A vocabulary. Yes, I have. Thank you.
I don't. To be fair, I didn't know the word. I don't even know how to spell it, and I've heard it like twice. I know
That's what I'm saying.
preposterous.
It's a dumb word. That's what I'm saying.
Anyway, so just to clarify on in general, Steven, tonight we had fun with it, but normally it's not a group project. It's the one.
Is to watch your friends struggle and pull their hair out. Why do you? I'm bald for a reason.
Yeah.
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 So I want to thank everybody that came out tonight because we are getting to the last
pull it
5
all
minutes, and I do want to go through our usual wrap downs and stuff. So plus there's been some changes in the DJing world for me, so I want to express those as well. But I want to thank everybody who came out tonight. I want to thank Tack, who's not here anymore. I want to thank Matt Dixon for showing up for a little bit. Mark, C-Man, Kateri, Jay, thank everybody for coming out. I hope, C-Man, all jokes aside, I seriously hope we'll see you again. I hope you'll come out and hang out with us. I think it was a lot of fun, so it'll be good to have you back.
Yeah, man.
Excellent. And then we can work something out about having you on a proper PodAskew as well someday, because that'd be fun. Why is my pointer gone? What the fuck?
Yeah.
I can't.
Pointer?
No, seriously, you guys, the arrow on my mouse is like missing. Oh, there we go.
Refresh your page.
No, it was. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was legit. Yeah. Anyway,
it doesn't have an
arrow.
So
I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. I want to remind you that you can get your PodAskew episodes every Monday anywhere you find your podcast. We have a new one coming out this week on what is this week? This week is we're not. Kateri asked me not to say what the movies were, but we did a movie double feature. Sometimes we do commentaries. C-Man, on this particular one, we did a double feature. So please feel free to check that out. Lord, I don't know.
Lord is breathing heavily. Yeah, that was some sexy shit.
I also want to. Okay, thank you. I want to announce that there's been a change for my schedule as DJ Xanthus over on Radio Airwaves. I am now instead of being on Tuesday nights, I'm gonna be on starting this upcoming week on Thursdays from 9 to midnight, and then I will also be on Saturday, as always, Saturdays 10 to midnight, and on both shows I always tend to run over. So the Lord knows it'll probably go longer than that. So please check me out tomorrow night for Headbangers Ball 80s edition. That's what we're doing tomorrow night on my show. See me, just in case you weren't aware, I'm actually a internet radio DJ as well. So I do that on Thursdays and Saturdays now. It used to be Tuesdays.
Awesome.
So yeah, I definitely do. But it's fun. I don't know.
Wear a lot of hats.
Lots of fedoras.
It's good.
So thank you everybody for coming out. We do very much appreciate your time as always. If you're interested in seeing this really bad Michael Jackson thing, please hang around. I'll show it after the recording. And we'll catch you all on the next week.
PodAskew.